Football is something we can't stop talking about every time, whether you have international break, whether it's off-season, whether it's pre-season, you just have to talk about football because it's one thing that brings all of us together. And what brings us all together also on this platform is Arsenal matter. Anything that has to do with Arsenal, we aren't going to stop talking about it. With my teammate here, Huspee. Arsenal went to Anfield and they undid us. Because we're expecting that we're going to get victory or we're going to nick a draw. But we just went there with, how do I call it, with a stereotype kind of mindset that it's not a winning mentality. That doesn't accrue to the fact that we're really ready to fight for this title. For us to just go with kind of a personnel in depth we have and just go there and play like we ain't ready. I don't understand.
For me, that is even some amount of good news.
In what way?
Imagine going to Anfield. You are expecting nothing less than a victory.
Yeah, because of the squad that we have.
That is the mindset you're talking about, the changed mindset. Previously, we'll be wishing we don't concede more than 3, more than 4.
But unfortunately, that mindset has not translated into our coach's mentality.
It hasn't. We lost the match, but I think it was just a matter of a little moment of magic from Szoboszlai, and that kind of moment can win any match.
But do you agree with me that that moment would never have come up if we have taken our chances? When I was interviewing one of the fans after the match, a Liverpool fan, he said the difference between Arsenal and title-winning teams is that we get opportunities minute after minute in the game. We don't take our chances. He said the opportunities we had in that game, that if Liverpool had them, they would have scored.
We only had one shot on target.
But we had opportunities. We had the moment where we had Madueke in the box, Eze later in the box. We had moments where we're playing right inside their box, but we just couldn't nick it.
Yes, I think something was just not ticking in that match. First of all, I'm telling you that the injuries that the team is enduring had a toll on the match. To start with,
I disagree. Let
me come to start with.
I disagree.
Let me come to start with. Let's go like for like.
Okay.
Take Mohamed Salah of the Liverpool lineup, just as we didn't have Saka. Take Odegaard, who will I say, probably Florian Wirtz or whatever it is, or the Argentine out of the lineup, and take Van Dijk from their centre-back position 5 minutes into the match, and tell me if Arsenal wouldn't have triumphed. In fact, in spite of all of those challenges, we controlled the first half. What I think the coach got wrong, his initial selection was not really bad because he was expecting Liverpool to come all guns blazing as they have been doing. So kudos to Arteta. You saw Ancelotti taking a different approach to the match that we've never seen. He had the handbrakes on.
Mm-hmm.
We never saw the fullbacks flying down the wings. So first of all, he wanted to contain us. And also we wanted to contain them. So that is why you saw that we had a lackluster first half. There was no penetration. There was no energy in the game from both sides. That was not the kind of performance fans were hoping for. All right. But the presence of Merino in the first half was to stifle and to start the press in the absence of Odegaard. And I think he did that. He did well. But in my opinion, the business of Merino was finished on that pitch after the first half.
Okay, good. Okay, now come to look at the way the game panned out. Agreed. Liverpool approached the match in such a way because they knew that they had challenges in their defense. They knew they had challenges in their defense and they were looking at ways on how to nullify, because they thought we were going to blaze with the kind of personnel depth we have, that they were going to come smoking against them. And I feel that an ideal coach, after playing the first 45 minutes, that have, the mentality of winning. Because I said it once, I said, look, for us to nick this Premier League title this season, you need to beat the best teams. You don't need a situation where you say, oh, Liverpool is not playing well, United is down, that is down. You need to beat the best teams to become a champion. And if you need to beat the best team to become a champion, you must have the audacity to play on any ground, go there and win.
Yep.
And with the kind of players we have today, I didn't expect, that is why every Arsenal fan globally expected that we're going to go to Anfield and nick a win, that the worst result that will come is a draw. Okay, now you went to that match with a handbrake, playing 3 DMs. And that to me, like I consistently say on this show, outside this show, is dubious, fraudulent, and criminal on the part of Arteta. Because you have the personnel. In the time past, the idea was, who are the players? Who is on the bench?
Can I just chip in here?
No, hold on. You spoke about the idea of removing Bukayo Saka, removing Salah. Removing Salah. Now let's do like for like, just like you said. Yes, we remove Bukayo Saka. Madueke accounted for his playing time on that pitch.
I agree.
He did well. But for me, Odegaard should never have started that match at all.
Odegaard didn't start.
No, that's what I'm saying. He shouldn't have even played that match.
Okay.
We have an Eberechieze that have been formidable against Liverpool. All the matches he has played against Liverpool has been on phase. He takes the game to them. Irrespective of the fact that Liverpool have got some fantastic midfielders. Eberechieze, watch from, even before Community Shield, last season he was doing the same. And whenever he's playing against Liverpool, he's playing as if he's playing against his teammates. Playing for middle table side Crystal Palace. I'm sorry to say that, but that's what they are. Yet, this guy is willing to shine. And this is a player that said, I'm ready. Just put me anywhere I want to play. And you put him on the bench. Not that he was, not that the guy was match rusty.
I am not here to defend Arteta, but let me give you some
Arteta has gotten on my nerves.
Let me give you some few pointers. To start with, the importance of Saka in the Arsenal side cannot be overemphasized.
True.
Watch all of our previous matches with Liverpool. Saka always had double bodies on him. Madueke was one-on-one with Carcass. If Saka had played, he would have drawn another body with Carcass to man Saka, which would have meant that we had an opening in some part of the pitch, in some part of the defense on the pitch. All right, come to think of it. In as much as we did some great pressing in the first half, we noticed that the middle of the park was a little bit opened. We lacked energy there. If you can recall, there was a mistake by Raya, the ball that Van Dijk nicked from Gyökeres.
That's a regular comical mistake from Raya. He's been doing that all season.
That is one. And also, if you can go through the match again, you'll notice that Van Dijk did like 3 of those passes in the center of our midfield with no interception. And in fact, it was one of those passes that led to the foul from Zubi, which I cannot take the credit away from that wonderful free kick. All right. But we also, and I was listening to somebody who was on the media team for Arsenal this morning. He was saying, if we had a Nogard on the bench, it was visible now that Zubimendi was tired already. You could have taken off.
But there would have been an opportunity too. There would have been an opportunity for us to switch a Declan Rice back. There are too many tactical tweaks that
for me,
Arteta should have done.
I'll just agree with you that the handbrakes were on.
He actually went there to play on the handbrake, and his Slot saw that on time and just took advantage.
And also, I think he was very late with his substitutions as well.
Exactly.
He brought on Max Daumann 88 minutes.
When the match was already gone.
What can he do?
And the guy was taking on Kakes.
And Liverpool were like in a low block formation already.
Don't concede.
And I always tell people the strength of Max Daumann is when he runs at pace at his opponent. But when everybody is just blocked in front of him, it's difficult for him to break through because one, he does not have the physique yet. It's easy to bully him off the ball. But when he's on his bicycle, you cannot really take him off that easily. So I think Arteta was hesitant. It's high time he's changing his mentality to go into these big games. Take the risk, set up his side for winning. If we can lose, let's lose, but let's lose with pride.
Huspee.
He was too pragmatic.
Exactly. That is the right word.
Opinion. He could have gone a little bit positive, especially in the second half.
You can be pragmatic when you know that, I don't trust my defense line. Your defense line is Saliba was out in the 5th minute. A Christian Mosquera came in. I said in one of our shows, he's slid in like when you just bought a perfect shoe size. I didn't even recall that Saliba was not playing.
I watched him. I think his second touch, he took a heavy touch. He almost lost the ball. And I saw him turning to Arteta, pitch side. And Arteta was making some signals to him, and as if he was telling him, calm down. And the boy settled in.
He won all the area duels, and he was winning the balls high up the
pitch. Exactly.
That was fantastic for me.
So Arteta has to be adventurous, in my opinion.
He need to be adventurous. He need to be ruthless. Bench your captain. Today, Enzo Maresca has Reece James on the bench.
He will tell you he's suffering from. He's not match fit that much.
Just put him on the bench.
It's for me. I don't want us to have flying wishes here.
Anyways,
I'm not sure Arteta is going to keep his captain on the bench. To be frank, because what we are not seeing. I'm somebody who has been critical of Odegaard recently, and I don't want him to start our matches even. I want Eze to start in that position. Saka 7, Madueke 11. But what I'm seeing and what was absent in our game with Liverpool was somebody who was to trigger the press. And that is also one of the qualities of our German, Kai Havertz. They always trigger the press. And this forms like the foundation of our formation, of our tactics. It brings fluidity. When they handle the press, it gives the other players in the middle of the park to rest and position themselves properly. And because if you watch again the pass from Van Dijk that led to that free kick, there was no press. Gyökeres was at a walking pace.
That man has run himself ragged.
I know, and there was somebody else who was close to Van Dijk. They did not challenge him, so he had all the time in the world to pick.
So that man has run because the man keep running from one pass. He keeps running. Nobody is seeing his runs.
Exactly.
And that to me is Odegaard will hold the ball. He holds the ball more than he's supposed. I just don't understand this guy.
I don't want to blame Odegaard for this Liverpool match. He had little time to make impact.
Anyways.
But his presence and the presence of Eze swung the game a little bit, the pendulum in our favor, even though it was in little bit too late.
Would you agree with me that Odegaard is a shortfall? He's one of the people that is killing the team. There was a point we had Liverpool on the edge of their box, and we rolled the ball backwards to, I think, Zubimendi or Gabriel Magalhaes. You are asking him to play the ball backwards further, and you were standing in a position where you can call for the pass, and Odegaard was pointing backwards. I said, no. Are you supposed to be progressive or retrogressive? Because these are the things we are looking at. Liverpool were there, they were just there for the taking. We needed to take the game to them.
What is wrong with the formation we used when we came back from Dubai 2 seasons ago?
That is $1 million question.
What is wrong with that formation?
I don't know. Before now, we're saying that, we didn't have a striker. Now you have a striker. You're not playing to the strength of the striker. The man is making runs. Nobody's seeing his runs.
And the way this Italian fellow, Calafiori is playing. He can invert to the midfield.
The midfield.
Timber can also invert to the midfield. I just don't know why we are not playing that tactics anymore. That tactics was very succinct to me. It was fluid.
It was fluid, and yes,
we are just we were creating a lot of chances.
A lot of chances and problems for our opponents too.
If you notice, I watched our first 3 games. I feel like we are struggling to create chances.
We're not even. I told you, or I told some other guys on the show. I said, look, I've not seen Arsenal. First game, I was mad. The way United snuffed life out of us. Second game against Leeds, I wasn't too comfortable until I saw this young man, Waneri, and the likes of them. They started moving balls, second half, and the goals started coming. Yes, I could see a balance in the game against Liverpool. But what I still cannot see is that fluidity in the final third. Because the biggest challenge we had all these years that we've been bottling the league is that in our final third, we didn't have that killer pass that will get to a striker. Everybody was calling Kai Havertz, he's not a striker, he's wasting ball. We are seeing the ones he's not, but the runs, the kind of work that young man does in the team, we don't see. But now we're seeing a Gyökeres that's making a run. Defenders are bullying him. He has just got 2 goals. But you see that when defenders are tackling him, they're not tackling him, they are wrestling with him. Like they don't want to give him opportunities to have presence on the ball.
Your man is bullish. I have a strong feeling. My gut feeling is telling me that the presence of Eze in the squad is going to provide opportunities for Gyökeres.
That's if we give him the chance to play the number 10 role.
Not even the 10 role. I've seen snippets of some of Eze's highlights from Crystal Palace.
We need to give him a free role if that is what you want.
He was operating predominantly from the left-hand side at some point. And I've seen tons of assists from him, especially first-time balls that he gets. And, Gyökeres loves playing from the left-hand side channel of the attack. So just as he got that ball against Leeds that he scored, he favors coming from the channel, drift in and take a shot. And if Eze is playing right behind him, it's easy for him to slide passes to him just like that, to even how can I say, those passes can even break lines in the middle or even bypass the midfield press. Especially if you do one-touch passes, it can bypass the midfield press from the opponent and it can leave the striker in acres of space. In my opinion, let's see what happens, but I have a strong feeling that the eminent, playing time of Eze is going to really be advantageous for Gyökeres.
Okay, let's see what happens and hope that the playing time of Eze is going to give Victor Gyökeres the scoring opportunities that he craves for. And now, from Grapevine, we also saw in the social media that Jose Conque called Mikel Arteta to a meeting. I'm sure he would have told him that, look, guy, you cannot continue to bottle up league titles this season. You've gotten all the things you want. Because that is what I've been saying. Support the coach and put the marker and tell him this is what you should do. I'm sure that would have been what the entire meeting is meted around. So I don't know what your opinion is in that direction.
I think that's the fairest thing to say on behalf of the fans, in my opinion. But if I'm coming from an Arteta's point of view, I've been crying for 3-4 seasons for quality signings. You've not provided me that. If you are giving me that now, you also need to give me time to bond with my team.
Viewers, please, you need to react to this because there's no time for this guy. This guy has spent 5 years plus.
Hold on.
Time.
Hold on.
Time to do what?
I am not saying Arteta should be given additional time.
Okay.
But I am saying if I was in the mold of Arteta, I would think along those lines, which basically means it's a throwback. I'm just smacking that on the face of Josh Kroenke to say, Josh, you had the opportunity to support me in the market 3-4 seasons, even last season when he was crying for a striker. The money was there.
Do you think if Arteta reacts this way, there is the right reaction from him?
I'm not saying it's the right or the wrong reaction, but I also say, for me, the expectation, without even giving him limit as it is, the expectation from everybody is that he should be able to clinch at least 2 major trophies this season.
Okay.
That's the expectation. But I am not in support of him being put under pressure. He
has to be under pressure.
I cannot put that guy under pressure.
The jury has to come out for him.
And you and I know that Josh and his family cannot put him under pressure. You know that already.
But we, the fans, will put him under pressure.
You know that's going to be for nothing.
Anyways.
We are not paying his wages.
Anyways, there's another thing making the waves. Once we came on the show and we spoke about United legends. I don't know what bothers them about Arsenal players. And something, I don't know what, I feel Les Ferdinand, or Rio Ferdinand, beg your pardon, is looking out for, how do I call it? He's looking out for traction, media traction online, or whatever. This idea of, even if a player comes into your DM, the player that you criticize come into a DM, you've been a player before. Do you think it's an ideal thing
to come out
for you to come out and put it before the public?
It's
completely out of place. Because I feel, I don't know, this social media raves thing is creating a lot of issues. So you just look out for something to say that will just generate some kind of traction, and I don't know. So how do you review what Rio Ferdinand said about Gabriel Magalhaes? Yes, you criticize him, and the guy came to your DM and told you that, look, you've been a player before, that the way you're criticizing him, I don't like it. And you told him certain things that he ought to do, that he need to cut out the rash decision and stop playing with emotions and all that. And today you are telling the entire world that the guy slid into your DM to do this. I don't think it's proper.
For me, it's very unprofessional. And if rookie defenders, young defenders around the globe, we are reading that or we are watching that, it will strike fear in them to confide in players like Ferdinand, because they know that someday will sit in front of the camera and let it out of the bag. At professional level, they've been communicating. They communicate among themselves a lot, the legends and what have you. But also what I want to emphasize here is that the level of punditry when it comes to Arsenal is comic. It's very toxic. If you watch the game against Liverpool, you hear almost all of the pundits saying Arsenal were negative in that match.
It's true, we're negative.
I'm coming.
That's the truth.
Arsenal did not go to win the match. We were playing for a draw. They were negative. We were negative in that match. Let's take the first half as an example. Who was the best team in that first half?
Arsenal.
And we are talking about a Liverpool side playing at home. So who was playing negative football on that?
Okay, can I react
now my
to
point is, this wasn't only about Arsenal. It wasn't like Liverpool were playing their fast fluid football and we were there clamping their players down, taking 200 minutes to take throw-ins, our goalkeeper falling down there, faking injury. You can even imagine we are chasing the equalizer. Timber went down. He took almost 2 minutes down around the Liverpool.
I berated him for that. That was wrong of him.
Exactly.
You are losing the match and you're on the floor waiting for somebody to come and pull you up.
So my point is, everybody could say that match was not a great spectacle. I'll agree with that, 100%. But you singling Arsenal out, that Arsenal were negative. What to lose about Liverpool, who never had a shot? In fact, for the first 35 minutes, they did not have one touch in our 18-yard box. So who was negative?
Let me react to that. One of the reasons I want to, for the first time, I think I want to toe the line of the pundits that were really, really criticizing Arsenal on the day we played against Liverpool. One, because of the depth in personnel that we have.
Forget about the depth.
And they believe...
Let's concentrate on what happened on the pitch.
Yes, no, on the pitch. That's why...
We are negative, Ken.
No, that is why...
But we had the Liverpool defense under pressure.
That is what we're saying. That is why...
So where's the negativity?
That's where our coach has an in-depth knowledge of what football is all about. You play 3 DMs, That first of all shows your negativity going to
No,
approach the
Ken,
match.
forget the personality. Let's talk about what happened on the pitch. In that first half, if Arsenal was negative, what was Liverpool doing? They never had touch in our 18-yard box in the first 35 minutes.
Agreed.
They didn't have one.
Agreed.
They didn't have one corner in the whole first half.
Agreed that when
They
it
have
comes to
no shot on
criticizing
target in the
Arsenal,
first half.
that the level of punditry is really toxic.
So why singling Arsenal out?
But when it comes to that match on that day, I told the line with them. Everything we did on that day of the match was
No, I disagree with you. I disagree with you.
I know
you are
you-
towing the line because you are expecting us to be more positive.
Exactly.
To be more.
Now you agree that we're negative.
No. To be
Now you
more.
agree that we're negative.
No, listen, I said to be more positive. I didn't say to be
It means that
positive.
you agree that you are negative.
No, listen, I said to be more positive.
That is where somehow we're negative.
No, when I said more positive, it meant that we were positive, but we needed to increase on the level
I like
of
this
positivity.
man.
I never said we needed to be positive. I said we needed
Anyways.
to be more
Anyways,
positive.
we're negative. We're a bit negative. I would say so.
No,
Move
and
our
that is
leg.
what I don't want to agree with you.
Okay.
Just say both teams were or they needed a little bit of positivity.
The thing is that we.
I don't want to hang on the negative adjective. Or
Okay.
description of the match.
Let's leave that match and focus.
These were two big clubs
Yeah.
who had so much respect for each other. They were so reserved, and for me, that's even credit to Arteta and Slot never altered his formation throughout last season. No matter which opponent they met, whether home or away. This was the Liverpool side playing in their famous Anfield arena, where the echoes of "You'll Never Walk Alone" was bashing the winds and the ceilings of the stadium.
So we had the opportunity of killing the demons permanently.
Exact, especially in the first half.
And we flopped our lines because of our negativity.
When we came, no, we would have been more positive. So let's say we are negative.
So
we had a shot on target. We had about 9 or 12 touches in the opposition box. We had about 4 or 5 corners. Yet we were negative, Ken. That shows the level of expectation, the level of expectancy that Arteta has really shown for this team.
Okay, kudos to Arteta.
Thank you.
Huspee has really given you your flowers, but
That's my coach.
He's also my coach. It's just that I don't like what he's been doing so far. So let's focus. Let's focus on this Rio Ferdinand thing, because to me, the other time, that's how he came up and was speaking so negatively about Arsenal players, and I was like, look, you've got a lot of numerous things to say about United. A lot of numerous things to say about your coach, things that are not doing well. Why not focus on United? Focus on the things that United are not doing well. Your defenders, you have a butcher called Martinez that is hacking on players. You have a lot of things that are not doing. We're not talking about them. And somebody is, because of respect, because the guy would have taken it on you, just like Nicolas Jackson started giving it back to one of Chelsea's legends, Mikel Obi. When Mikel started saying negative things about Jackson, Jackson just went back on his own handle and also addressed the issue.
Can I tell you something? The bad blood between Arsenal and Manchester United is still there.
It's still there.
I don't know if you saw a shot of Patrick Vieira and Roy Keane.
He said, I didn't like you.
They were pundits on the same table. They couldn't speak to each other.
And Roy couldn't look at...
he couldn't look at Patrick Vieira. And Patrick Vieira
I don't like you.
He could not even move in his direction. That was the level of hate. You even saw this guy, Gary Neville, criticizing our set-piece coach for him coming to the touchline to give instructions.
What's your business?
What is wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong about that. That's why they are
when we scored against Bournemouth some seasons ago, that wonder goal from
we celebrated.
Then look at the celebration
of United against Burnley. They won a trophy
against Burnley. Nobody criticized that. Nobody. The Liverpool match versus Bournemouth, this guy Alisson held the ball on 3 consecutive occasions for more than 10 seconds. No penalty was levied. But had that been Raya, they will say it's dark arts. Arteta is applying dark arts with his players on the pitch.
And need us to start taking advantage of those things and use it to win trophies, because that is what we need to do. The Colors Corner Kick FC, Dark Arts FC, let us utilize it to our advantage. That is my own argument.
It's true, and for me, I'm very much optimistic. This is a dent in our early season form.
And I hope we're able to learn from it.
I guess so. Arteta and his team will go back to the drawing board and do the needful. But I feel like we have a very huge season ahead of us. I'm glad that we have a very huge squad. For me, on paper, in terms of the starting 11, Liverpool, arguably some pundits, especially at the far end of the pitch, people will say they have the best starting 11 in the Premier League. But I believe we have the best squad in the league right now.
We do. That is why we are. The jury has been out for Arteta.
And your starting 11 cannot win you a trophy. It is the depth of your squad that can take you across the line, which I feel like that is what we've been missing. You know, and also there's something we are not paying attention to. The spate of injuries we are having in the squad is worrying. It's really worrying. We have lost Saka. Odegaard was patched up. Norgard has not even kicked a ball in the Premier League yet for Arsenal. Ben White, who was an ever-present figure in the side, is injured. And we are talking about
Saliba.
I think
Saliba was a twisted ankle.
You know, so I have a feeling that that's something we can pay attention to. Even though we have a depth in squad, if the spate of injuries, last season I think we had up to 27 injuries or so.
So our medical team need to look inwardly.
If we continue,
look at the things they are not doing correctly.
And in just 3 games, we've lost about 3 or 4 people. If we continue on
there are 6 of them.
It's going to hamper our
chances. You add Gabriel Jesus.
It's going to hamper our chances, because at the end of the day, if the replacement even gets injured, what do? You just have to turn to the academy boys. And
that's why we should not be playing with the handbrake. Get a team, beat them, and just play our normal football. And let's just hope
we are also lucky with injuries as Liverpool were last season.
Okay, don't forget on this international break that it is still the Arsenal Fans being brought to you by Arsenal Fans globally. And the next on our agenda, we're going to be looking at the challenges we have in our communities. There are a lot of stuff happening in our communities where we've seen the rampant presence of drug abuse in our society, and our communities are not left out of it. And we want to see. We know that some other bodies, foundations in Sierra Leone have been coming to the Arsenal community in order to do 1 or 2 things, partner with us also. So you, as our chairman and ever present also on this channel, I want us to look at what are the things that we are doing as a body in order to mitigate these challenges in the communities.
All right, thank you, Ken. So some years ago, of course, Arsenal Sierra Leone is the biggest supporters club in Sierra Leone, and I can boldly say we are the most structured as well, because we have entities all across the country. We have regional structures, and we also managed to put together a medical team some years back from within. Their task was to coin messages that were geared towards our campaign of fighting drugs. And so every week they were coming out with a slogan or a theme. We did a flyer, we disseminated that, and we're also asking members on the platform to do short videos, like 20-30 seconds video. And we asked people to vote which video was the video of the week. That was the video we are putting out there. But we went a little bit slow on that because we were a little bit distracted by the emergence of the capital campaign, which is the tree planting campaign. But belatedly, we were approached by Ivorian Silas Foundation and Barry Health Foundation. They've been doing wonderful work in terms of the campaign against drugs. They've done wonderful things both in Sierra Leone and out of Sierra Leone. They've gone to ghettos. They have helped in counseling people. They have earmarked people that have been devastated by drugs, trying to help them out of that menace. I think that is a very laudable laudable effort that they are putting out there. And we are very much proud to have partnered with them at some point. They approached us. They were here in the studios. You viewers can actually check out the videos um, on our page, on our YouTube page or account. There is a video where we did the Say No to Drugs campaign thing. They came and did a donation, fantastic donation to Arsenal Sierra Leone of football kits, football, and what have you. Now, this rekindled our efforts to start re-emphasizing our message that drugs is actually robbing the country of its prized assets.
True.
We are losing very important people, young people. And don't be surprised. I'm telling you, when they talk about drug abuse, most of us when we walk on the street, we just look out for those ragged or richly dressed people.
Yeah.
And they say, these are the Kushites, they are the ones taking Kush and what have you.
From what we understand, even people, the corporate side
we have a lot of people in the corporate world who are abusing drugs. They are so into it, but they are doing it behind the walls. People cannot see them. I'm stating a disclaimer here. I was speaking to a friend of mine from the United States who's a medical personnel. He told me that we are losing a lot of young people in Australia because they are being affected by the kind of drugs that they take into their system. So he gave me an example of the shisha. Many young people are into it. They think it's less harmful. And if you see any of those people taking shisha, you ask them, shisha and cigarette, which one will you smoke? They will say shisha. Why? Because they will say shisha is less harmful. Cigarette is dangerous to their health. But the guy actually told me that a puff of shisha contains almost the percentage of nicotine you can find in 20 cigarettes.
Wow.
So it's killing young people. It's damaging their organs. They don't even know it. They enjoy it because when they puff it, I don't even know how it tastes like. So I don't even know how they feel, but they think it's less dangerous. But it's really killing them. And the other one is the sexual enhancement drugs that young people are into.
Yeah.
If you're watching me, if you're a 5 minutes man, you're a 5 minutes man. Your woman will adjust to you. If you want more,
you're not going to win a trophy for it.
Exactly.
Or a good medal.
Don't put your health at risk. The guy told me that, again, I'm stating a disclaimer, I'm not a medical person, I've not proven this. He told me that during ejaculation, the heart of a man ceases for that period, a few seconds that is ejaculating. But when you take sexual enhancement drugs, what does this do? If your natural period of ejaculation is 10 seconds, that's the period your heart ceases and you ejaculate. Because you are using drugs to delay, your period of ejaculation will go beyond 10 seconds to probably 15, 20 seconds because there is an element or something in you that is delaying your coming. And that means your heart is going to stop for a longer period.
Person will be dead for a longer period.
For a longer period than it is supposed to. And when this happens continuously, it weakens the heart. That is why you'll just hear you say, young person, what happened? He just had an attack. He just had an attack. He just had an attack.
Accumulation of those drugs.
Exactly. So young people out there, for me, this is coming from my heart. Just be you. You can do this without drugs now. You can do it. This is life. And at times, some of you are so addictive to this. If you need help, you can go to professionals who can talk you out, who can counsel you. Imagine the life you have is not only yours. You have a lot of people dependent on you. If you disappear from the surface of the earth today, you are leaving tears in the eyes of many people. You have robbed Mama Salon of 1%. The mission that God gave you or God placed for you to accomplish on earth is unaccomplished. I don't know what's going to happen in eternity. I don't know what God is going to hold you accountable for. But you have to be responsible for your life. be yourself. Share this message within your community, among us men. Don't be ashamed. If you are 2 minutes, you are 2 minutes. Let that 2 man laugh you, but put that 2 man down to understand that this is how
Because
far you
life
can
matters.
go. Exactly.
Life matters.
If the only way you can enjoy is to take shisha, no, I can say there are better ways. Avoid going the extra mile, and especially the shisha. Most of you don't even know that this thing is a killer. It is damaging your organs 20 times more
because when
than
you go
what
out
the
there in the
cigarette is
public,
doing.
you just see them. It's like
Exactly.
a frenzy. Everybody's just taking it
Exactly.
like, I mean, it's a giveaway thing, like normal way of living, So you said it all. I think this is quite informative to our young ones, the adult people in the corporate world. It is time we begin, all right, it is time we began to win our own people back because we need to get everyone to be alive. It's just, life is ephemeral.
It is.
And the moment we live here, we need to make it count for ourselves. So rather than destroying our lives with drugs and all kind of indulging in all kind of abuses, it is important we begin to go back to the drawing board. And that is why also Arsenal Fans Beat and Arsenal Sierra Leone we're putting together the football banter where we're going to be bringing 8 fan base.
Yep.
United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Spurs, Arsenal, and any other club there that is interested. We're going to be having a competition. And part of that competition is also to speak to everyone in the nook and crannies of our communities that we're bringing unison together through football, but we're kicking out drugs from our society.
Yeah.
It is important that you be part of this innovation that is going to come your way. Very soon, you're going to be getting all the commercials, you're going to be getting flyers here and there. So gear up, tell your fan base, leader of your fan base that they need to be part and parcel of the competition. And you're going to be having a Premier League trophy as the winning prize. So I don't know if you have any last message to the young ones, giving them an advice as we're about to round off the show.
Young people out there, we have our heroes that we pay our little pennies for to watch every week on the pitch. Our football heroes. You've seen some people losing their way, losing their career because of drugs. They are not abusing drugs, but there are certain elements of drugs that they are banned from taking. This goes for you. Nobody's constituting your life. Nobody is putting parameters. Nobody is putting a barrier around you. But you have to be responsible for yourself because it is only you that can save your life. You know what is dangerous for you. You know what is dangerous for your being. You know the harm that it can cause. You know that the harm that it can bring in the way of other people around you. Please say no to drugs. This is a message you are supporting that is being shared also by the Barry Health Foundation and the Ivorian Steelers Foundation. Arsenal Sierra Leone and Arsenal Fans Beat are right on top of this campaign that you can say no to drugs. Save your life, save your community, save Sierra Leone, make everybody happy, and stay away from violence as well.
You've heard it in a nutshell. Save your life, save your community, and stay away from violence. And for me, and Huspee, it is another edition of Arsenal Fans Beat. Until then, it is come on, you Gunners!